Heavy Axe Wound is a genre blend. A genre blend of slashers, typical slasher movie, and a high school wacky drama where the new kid finds a girlfriend, but the father doesn't approve of that girlfriend. He says, "No daughter of mine is going to go with it," and it's that type of shtick. But they merge it. They merge the serial killer with the tropey high school drama crap. Maybe I'm just a little bit too old for the high school drama crap. Maybe I'm just not interested in that stuff anymore, and I want to see more of the slasher bits. The kills in this are fantastic. There are quite a few great kills in here that have great practical effects, good effects. It's got a good atmosphere about it. It's got a great atmosphere. It feels like it's set in the 90s. And the premise is, there's this dude who is basically Jason from Friday the 13th. He's basically Jason. His origin story is very close to Jason's origin story, and the way that this character, whose name is Roger Bladecut, keeps coming back because he keeps dying all the time. He's like Kenny. So when Roger Bladecut is buried, lightning strikes the grave, and then he comes out just like Friday the 13th 6. I want to say it's 6. He comes back from a lightning strike, and he just keeps coming back. But after so long, after doing this for I don't know for how long, maybe he's been doing this for 40 years now, maybe, I don't know. But he's getting old. He's not as spry as he used to. In fact, the last time he died, it was from a heart attack. And so his daughter buries him. He's got a daughter, and the daughter's the main focus of the movie. And at first, the daughter wants to follow in her father's footsteps to be the best killer she can be. And I kind of wish the story stuck with that half more than the high school half. And so when she buries him, because he has a heart attack, and he's trying to come out of the ground, the lightning strikes the grave, and he comes back to life, and he's struggling to break through the dirt and all of that stuff. So his daughter has to help dig him out. And the guy's like, "That's never happened to me before. I've never had to have help digging out of my grave before." It's pretty fun. It's pretty funny, and this definitely is a horror comedy, and it's really, really, really brilliant. The way they do this. There's like this supernatural film company, the supernatural film crew, that follows Roger Bladecut around, and he's basically like mailed a yearbook or something, and in the yearbook is a bunch of circled photographs, and these are the people that Roger Bladecut has to kill. And so Roger Bladecut goes out and he kills them in creative ways, and then a few days later, a box of tapes shows up on the doorstep. He runs a video store, which is very funny. So a box of tapes from all of the latest kills show up. And you pop the little tape into the player, and it's basically a slasher movie with all sorts of slasher camera angles and all that stuff. And it's like, where is this camera crew? How are they getting these shots? It's definitely feels like it's supernatural, but there's something supernatural about Roger Bladecut that keeps coming back to life. But the video store is not doing well. Roger Bladecut is slowing down, and the Roger Bladecut franchise isn't as big as it used to be. So who knows? Maybe there's some supernatural bigwigs, kind of like Cabin in the Woods style, how there's this big office building underground, and they're in charge of all these various supernatural things, and they do record video of all this, or hidden video cameras and all this supernatural crap, to appease the elder gods. This feels like something that feels like it belongs into that type of conversation. And I loved Cabin in the Woods, one of the best horror comedies you'll ever see. It's fantastic, and this feels like it belongs in that talking conversation. So the daughter wants to take over for her father, who's slowing down now. He can't do it like he used to, and so she wants to prove it to her father. So she goes out and finishes the previous kills and tries to bring this character as the next big horror franchise. The wolf face, some guy in a wolf mask, basically. axe murdering and all that cool crap, right? And so she wants to bring this character out instead of Roger Bladecut. And she wants to call the next film Spawn of Bladecut. And so she goes out to do that. And she tries to stalk her latest prey. Only she ends up falling for her prey instead, because she joins the high school and befriends the friend circle, and we get to know all of the characters. And Roger Bladecut says when you get to know them, it's harder to put them down. It's like when you're a butcher at a butcher shop and you get to know your cattle, and you start saying, "Oh, wow, this cow is pretty. It's pretty cute. It's pretty sweet. I don't want to butcher this cow." And then your boss is like, well, "This is why you don't get close to the cattle." That's basically what Roger Bladecut's doing here. And so the daughter is befriending the cattle, so as to say. He says none of this is real, and that's the interesting thing that I want to know about here, where Roger Bladecut's coming from with that. He says none of this is real. What does he mean by that? I want to know. There's some interesting stuff behind the scenes, behind the world, behind what you're seeing on the screen. There's a lot of interesting lore that's just barely even touched upon that I really want to know about. I want to know about this hidden supernatural camera crew that keeps making these tapes of all of Roger Bladecut's kills. And so at the end of the film, the daughter kills Roger Bladecut because she's fallen in love with one of the students that she was supposed to kill, and she didn't want to kill her. And so she ends up dying at the end. Roger Bladecut still ends up doing it, but then she buries her into Roger Bladecut's grave, hoping that her friend, her girlfriend, will come back to life, and then maybe they can patch things up. I don't know. I don't know. If you ask me, being killed is kind of it's a difficult thing to get over. You know, it's a little bit of a difficult thing to just patch up like a night of binge drinking or something. It's not that easy to fix. That's just my thoughts about that. You know, I think it's a little bit harder to get over that. But I really hope they make a sequel where those two actually try to reconcile and start their own new slasher franchise, where you could turn it into more Terrifier and less Degrassi high school drama shenanigans. I want more Terrifier and less Degrassi in the sequel, but please, make another one.